Well, good morning, my friend. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. It is good to have you with me on this Monday morning. It is February the 16th. And thank you for being along with us today. Great day yesterday in church, people saved and baptized. A lot of sickness going on around, but thankful for what God's doing in our church. And it's good to have you along with me today. And I appreciate you coming along and being with us today as we start another week serving the Lord and doing what's right, and thankful for the Lord and all that he does for us. God is a good God. I want to read to you today from 2 Chronicles chapter 17 and verse 3. The scripture says, "And the Lord was with Jehoshaphat because he walked in the first ways of his father David and sought not unto Balaam." When Jehoshaphat chose to follow David, he looked at his life and chose to follow. This is very interesting, the first ways. The fact that he says the first ways means that there was a second way in David's life that Jehoshaphat chose not to follow. The first ways of David's life was how he chose to serve God and keep him at the preeminence in his heart. But there was another way in David's life that Jehoshaphat chose not to follow. That was when David stayed home from the battle, which led to the adulterous affairs with Bathsheba. Jehoshaphat was smart by choosing the right of the two ways to follow. He could have chosen either one, but he chose the right one. My pastor for many years, Dr. Jack Hyles, when you study his life, you will notice that he grew greatly until the day that God took him to heaven. His positional stances when he was a younger preacher were definitely were not as strong as they were right before he went to heaven. I've often told preachers to copy the young Jack Hyles when learning how to build a smaller church into a growing church, but to copy the older Jack Hyles when choosing positional stances. The young Jack Hyles built great churches, though he was still growing when he died. His younger years were the great years of Jack Hyles. The older years, positionally, he was the strongest that he had ever been. Now, this does not mean that Brother Hyles was a bad man. Rather, it means that the greatness of this man is seen in his never-ending growth, which every believer should do. So I want to share 4 thoughts about this critical truth of keeping one way for people to follow. First, you are following someone. I often hear people say they don't follow man, but they only follow God, and that's just not true. Everyone follows some man to some degree. Oh, we may follow God, but we have no life examples that we have seen other than those who have walked before us. That's the only examples we have. There are life examples. So we have followed someone to learn how to serve God. I followed my mama and what she had taught me, and my dad and the good things that he had done. And then men of God like Brother Hyles and Brother Treber. And to say you don't follow a man is a lie. You copied someone's Christianity to help you to get to where you are. So you have followed some man. No wrong with that. Just at some point, you got to choose the right way. Second, always choose the right way to follow from those who you choose to follow. So don't follow their weakest points of life. Rather, follow their strong points and learn from their weak points. God gives us the lives of people from the past to follow so we can learn from their strengths and weaknesses. Now, we would be wise to make the strong points and the actions of people that we follow. That's what we ought to emulate. And let their weaknesses be lessons on what you should not do. Third, you are making a way for someone to follow. Just as you are following someone else, you are making a way for a generation to follow you. You must not be careless in your living because you're showing others how they should live their lives. Someone's watching you. And I'm just saying right now that you give them the right example on how they should live. And if you do wrong, then you're going to give them an open door to go into sin. There's never an excuse for sin. We can justify it any way we want to, but there's never an excuse. And you follow the wrong ways, you open the doors for everybody that you follow to go that way. Number four, if you never make a second way, people who follow you will only have one way to follow. So this is the greatest key. Do what's right all the time. You can give to those you follow an example to continue to grow until the day you die if you do right all the time. I would hate for someone to say about me in the years to come to follow that the first ways are not the latter ways. I don't want that. I want people that when I die, be able to say, Brother Donnelly, he stood strong when he was young, and he stood strong when he was old. I hope that people can say about me that I continued to grow in the Lord. And so that the next generation that follows me has a good pattern to follow, a pattern on which to build, because they have a pattern of someone growing all the time. My friend, someone's following you. And because they're following you, we need to do what's right. Let's make sure that we're a people that we follow the strengths of people and not their weaknesses. And then we as people, as God's children, let's be people that we get stronger and stronger and grow stronger through the years, so that by the time we die, people can say they stood strong through no matter what they faced, they stayed strong and they went forward and they did what was right. My friend, that's the key to the Christian life. Well, I hope this is a great help to you today. Now, let's remember today, be good to everyone.